The difference between the people who struggle and the people who have success, the difference is we actually know that our fears are normal. We know we're going to have fears, but we don't swim in the fear. We don't dwell in it. We do not certainly listen to it as though it's our boss. We also do not get hard on ourselves thinking that we're broken. Now, I used to. Now, as you know, I'm Kai Ashley, and I used to have PTSD. I used to be an incredibly reactive victim. I had multiple chronic illnesses, and I've healed myself from it all. But I'm still not fully healed. I still have issues in my life. I still have fears come up daily. I still feel like I'm not good enough a lot of the time. But instead of it being this big, overwhelming thing that would take me up for months and years at one time, and then weeks, and then days, and then hours, now it's like a little blip. Now I no longer let it control me. But that started because I realized that it's normal to have fears. And rather than avoiding them and pushing them down, although definitely sometimes I did along the journey, what I did was I got very intimate with myself, and I learned how to actually have a conversation with these fears. So if you are feeling like things are out of your control and like, oh, you should be better by now and you can't take action because you have these fears or these bad habits, just stop. You are human. You are not the only one. So many of my clients come to me, and I have some very tricky cases of anxiety and overwhelm and hardcore programming and PTSD, as well as successful people that, still feel insecure inside, but they felt like they always had to be perfect and could never measure up. All different ends of the spectrum. The defining factor for my clients is that they all want to make the world a better place. They all want to create success in their life. And they've always been a little bit weird, made to feel a bit different. But this weirdness is their greatest strength. Okay, because it means that you follow your heart and you don't just follow the norms. And it's actually following these rules that will make you feel so crazy. You think you're wrong. Okay, so when they first come to me, they actually feel like they're doing something wrong for being who they are, and they have to change who they are. But that's not it. In fact, the whole work is about changing your perception to work within your natural rhythms and to realize that there's nothing wrong with you for having these fears. The only thing that is wrong with you is that you think there is something wrong with you. Literally. And then that causes you to have a complex and to act a bit crazy and send 1,000 text messages or not be able to show up for your passion because you keep telling yourself on a loop that there's something wrong with you, that you're missing something, that you don't matter, that nobody cares, whatever your individual story is. But you're not the only one. And as I was going to say earlier, all of my clients who come to me, just about all of them, they think that they're the only ones suffering with this stuff. But I can tell you, I've worked with many people from all walks of life, many high-level entrepreneurs and VPs of companies and, down to like entrepreneurs starting their business. And I can tell you this, every single person feels like they're not enough. But the truth is you are enough. The only thing that makes you not enough is that you make yourself crazy by thinking you're not enough. And the way to change it is to reprogram your subconscious, which means to make new decisions, to think new thoughts, to have new feelings, and to reshape your identity. Now, it's a lot easier than it sounds. It just takes persistence, consistency, determination, really to change your whole entire personality back to who you truly are instead of all the conditions on top that stress you out and freak you out and, shame you and all those things. It can take years, but the time will pass anyway. So you might as well get started, and you will have big leaps along the way. There's no like finish line. You don't have like this big finish line. It's like, oh, I did it and I get the prize. No, every step is a win, even as you struggle and you go into that old pattern again. That is your opportunity to notice it. And then it's your opportunity to notice it and react to it differently. And when you realize that all your life you're going to be noticing patterns and then reacting to it differently, then you stop making it such a big deal and you stop getting down into a funk. And then it just becomes a regular conversation with yourself. And that's what I really love to help you with. I help my high level clients to restructure their nervous system and their subconscious mind so you take control of your life. And the paradox is you take control by letting go of control. When you try to control what everyone else is doing because you feel unsafe and you think that you know the best way, guess what? You only know the best way for you. And when you let go of the reins for everybody else, whether it's your partner or the people you meet in the street or whoever it is, and you allow them to make their mistakes and make their choices and do things in their own way, and you just focus on you, just on you, you'll be shocked and amazed at how well your life goes. It is profound, but it can be really hard to do on your own. So if you are the type of person that you're ready to change your entire life in all areas, whether it's chronic pain, relationship healing, and in fact, relationships is everything, your relationship to money, your relationship to yourself, to your family, to your parents, to your children, if you have them, to your pets, your relationship to exercise, your relationship to your health, your relationship to your food. I help you to restructure your relationships and take control by trusting that everything is working out. And you will see it's like this key, like you put a key in the engine, you turn the car on and the car goes. When you genuinely think from trust, act from faith, and you realize how powerful you are and you get it into your subconscious, then life just starts acting differently. People start treating you differently. I help you take the power back when you realize that people only reject you because you reject you because of the negative experiences you had where people reject you. It becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy, and you literally trigger people unconsciously to reject you how you think they will, because you might get all nervous and stammer, or you might overcompensate in some way, or be trying to think, how can I convince them to say yes? How can I convince them to like me? How can I convince them? But it's not your job to convince them. It's your job to convince yourself that you're enough no matter what they say. And that can take some deep internal work. So don't think, oh, I did some sessions or I did a year of work, I'm all healed now. Or even if, especially if you're a healer, the biggest ego trap I see is healers. Oh no, I'm healed now, I'm a healer. It's like, no, even I get help from other healers a lot of the time. I still do my own inner work, and I do it constantly all through the day because I'm constantly having a conversation with myself, flipping myself from fear into faith. But still, there's only so far we can go with our own blocks. So definitely do the smart thing and get help. By the way, going at it alone is literally a trauma response because you felt like you weren't allowed to be supported in your needs. So truly successful people, they do invest in the help, not just money, but time and energy, realizing that if you want to reclaim your time, if you want to actually have a life full of ease, where, yeah, you have to show up and do some challenging things, but you do the things that actually light you up, and that's a challenge enough. And when you realize that you can do that, then everything begins to change. But it does take inner work, which then leads to the most glorious actions that create the best success, even beyond what you've imagined. And that's what I'm here for. So if this has helped you, please subscribe. And I'm going to put down in the comments my free journaling freebie. Yes, my journaling freebie, which is going to help you look at the areas of your journaling that you could improve, where you may even be recreating your problems. So there's like 7 steps, maybe like 2 bonus steps in there too. And you find the ones that suit you. And then it's going to help you to upgrade your journaling for success. So go and get that right now. Sign up to my email list, and you'll also receive transformational content from me. So you'll get more of my videos, my live streams, my Instagram posts, whatever it is, as well as beautiful transformational teachings right to your inbox. So I would love to know, what's been your biggest highlight or takeaway from this video today, from this little training today? Put it in the comments to help it integrate into your system. But also, obviously, because I love to know that you're there, and the more people who comment, the more other people who need this work will get to see it. So they're the bonus points, but for you, do it simply so that you can integrate this into your system. You remember it. Writing it out in your own words or quoting my words really will help this to sink in, because you have to remember that this is an ongoing process and it's about having a conversation with yourself. No one's ever fully healed. You don't need to be some perfect person to do the things you want to do. In fact, doing them imperfectly is what will inspire other people in your situation to know that they can do it too. And that's how I started out, even with my PTSD and my social anxiety and my addictions and all my stuff. I just showed up and I shared what was working for me. And I helped people in their own life. And then I grew a business from it. And I really inspired people who also weren't perfect to realize that they could do it too. So do not underestimate the power of you showing up exactly as you are and finding a way to make it work. Your job is just to believe in yourself enough, which means talk to those places of yourself that don't and remind yourself of the truth. If you want any help, let me know. Go to the description to get your journaling freebie. And I've got plenty of EFT tapping videos on my channel on YouTube as well. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here today. As you know, I'm Kai Ashley. And remember, you really do choose your own reality.